welcome. My name is Villains, and today I want to talk about the movie that I absolutely cannot wait for, and that's Fantastic Four. Over the past couple months, I've been watching over the movies, the old shows, looking at the comics, basically consuming as much Fantastic Four material as possible. These guys are quickly becoming my favorite team ever assembled in history, and I'm really glad that Marvel chose them as the first newly acquired property to work on. In this video, I'm going to talk about how the first family's introduction to the MCU could work, and what it could mean for the MCU going forward. So let's get right into it. It's no secret that all the attempts at making the Fantastic Four into live action haven't really been successful. I mean, honestly, I've never even watched the disgrace that is the 2015 Fantastic Four movie. Now, when this project was announced months ago back at Disney Investors Day, it was met with some hesitation by fans. Honestly, I don't understand why. This ain't the horrors at Fox Studios working on these movies. This is all Marvel. The same people that made some irrelevant family from space loved by almost everyone. People also tend to forget that the mastermind himself, Kevin Feige, has wanted the rights to the Fantastic Four for a long time. So if anyone is nervous about this movie doing well, take it from the man himself.
Okay, Fantastic Four. What story are you going to tell that hasn't been told yet?
All of that is spoilers, but I'm extremely excited about those characters and about bringing Marvel's first family up sort of to the platform and the level that they deserve.
There was also some people upset that the MCU Spider-Man director Jon Watts is directing the movie, but I never heard people upset about the Spider-Man films. I think he's a great choice. I'd rather have a director with proven experience over some random new director for the purpose of giving them a chance. The Fantastic Four deserve the best, and Marvel knows that they don't have a second chance after this movie to solidify the Four as a top-line group. Marvel will do them justice. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of origin stories. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be done, but making movies solely for the purpose of explaining the birth of a character or a team and showing off their powers while destroying the villain like it's nothing is just not the way to do things nowadays. We all know who these people are, but the problem is, how do we insert characters who should have been in a franchise that's been running for over 10 years? Now, hopefully this video is uploaded before the mystery reveal in WandaVision, but in episode 5, Monica mentions that she knows an aerospace engineer that would be up for the challenge of examining some of the radiation that Wanda's bubble is giving off. The popular theory right now is that this person could either be Reed Richards or Victor Von Doom. Now, while that could make sense, I personally think that the person she's referring to could be Beast or Hank McCoy, because 1, he is a member of S.W.O.R.D. in the comics, 2, if they're going with the introduction of the X-Men, Beast is perfect for that, and 3, though he is a biochemist and medical expert, the point is he's really smart, so why not? As for the rest of the Four, in some promo material for Spider-Man 3, it's revealed that astronauts have gone missing in outer space. What if the Four weren't snapped and instead had to somehow survive in outer space for the past 5 years? We see at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the words, "We are so excited to show you what comes next." This is most likely the area that the Baxter Building will be built. Is it possible that Reed had been examining the radiation energy emitted from the snap and blip and is waiting until the Baxter Building is finished to begin testing what this energy is capable of? I'm not sure, but WandaVision could definitely confirm or deconfirm most of these theories.
Are you anywhere near casting?
No.
Story? No.
No.
Now, I'm going to keep this section short, but we all know that if Emily Blunt and John Krasinski aren't Sue and Reed, we as a fanbase are going to raid Marvel HQ, use the combined power of their Infinity Gauntlet and the frozen head of Walt Disney to alter reality and make them cast it as... Okay, we know that these two are born for the roles and they don't need to be casted, but it would be absolutely incredible. Johnny and Ben are a pair that needs to be casted very well though. The dynamic between these guys is unlike anybody else in the MCU, and they'll definitely be highlights of the movie because of that, in my opinion. Zac Efron as Human Torch would definitely work better than Captain America and Killmonger, and John Cena as Ben Grimm might be the only role Cena could actually play well.
Have you subscribed yet? Do it now.
The Fantastic Four have an incredible rogues gallery, and by that I mean there's like 2 people who carry the entire list. But I feel like these 2 guys won't be the villains and won't come face to face with their enemies for a long time. I think Marvel is going to plan out their first encounter to be an epic one, and it won't be done until the time is right, and who knows when that'll be. Aside from Galactus and myself, I think there is a few villains who are worthy competition for the Fantastic Four. The specific villains I have in mind being Mole Man, Annihilus, and the one I personally think will be the villain, Super Skrull. Now I know, Annihilus is a Thanos level villain and it's way too early for him, and I didn't even mention Namor. The reasons being, Namor is more of an anti-hero. He needs an origin story since he's not known very much, but he does carry a lot of significance in some later storylines. And yeah, while Annihilus is extremely powerful, he doesn't get many chances to show this power. So as a main villain, he would give a hard battle, all to be sealed off in the negative zone and never brought out into some later movie where they need a strong threat. I'll get into Annihilus and the negative zone some more later, so stick around. Now Mole Man, I think as a city level threat, would be well received and a solid one-off villain. He offers some comedy relief, Danny DeVito as Mole Man, and it gives good way for the Four to show off their powers against all of the Maloids. But now we gotta talk about Super Skrull. If I had to place a bet on who the villain of this movie would be, I'd go all in on Super Skrull. Not only does he fit the Marvel formula of the hero facing the villain with the exact same powers, but it does also make sense with the current state of the MCU. We know that Skrulls exist within the universe, and for now they seem like good guys. But this is most likely going to change due to the announcement of the Secret Invasion series coming to Disney+. This was a huge surprise because the Secret Invasion storyline could honestly be a 2-part movie featuring more heroes than what we saw in Endgame. This series I'm sure will have the same effect that the comic did, but the consequences of the series will bleed over into what would become the future of the movies. And basically, I believe the Fantastic Four will be the first movie affected by this series, bringing in Super Skrull. Going by what I said, I think the plot could involve Reed having to create a device that's capable of uncovering all the Skrulls that are invading all around the Earth. We know that the star of the Secret Invasion comics was Tony Stark, but we all know what happened to him. So why not get the real super genius Reed Richards to be the reason that the Skrull invasion had been stopped instead? Another possible storyline could be the introduction to the negative zone. Now, I've been thinking about how this Fantastic Four movie could be different from any of the 4 previous attempts at showcasing these characters. In all of the movies, they include Doctor Doom as the main villain. The family have been new, experienced, young, and regardless, none of those movies have worked. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has introduced an entire new level of power since Doctor Strange, and Thanos and Scarlet Witch have now brought reality-altering abilities into our understanding. But the Fantastic Four has someone who 1. Fits into this now established power skill, and 2. Would change it altogether if given the chance. And this person is Franklin Richards, the son of Reed and Sue. To give a simple rundown of his powers, Franklin is basically God. If the negative zone is brought in, it would be for the purpose of helping Sue give birth to her son with the help of the Cosmic Control Rod. But this artifact is pretty much used to give absolute power within the negative zone, and Annihilus has held it for the longest time. It would take Reed, Ben, and Johnny in order to make a plan to take it from him. This theory is basically all coming from the original comic that started it all, Fantastic Four Annual, issue number 6 in 1968. Also, if the MCU decides to keep Agatha Harkness around after WandaVision, maybe she'll return as a surprise end credit scene to be Franklin's babysitter like how she was in her original comic book appearance. I think introducing Franklin would be a great way to make this version of the Fantastic Four different from any other version. I mean, not even the cartoons have had Franklin. It'd be kind of like making them into the MCU version of The Incredibles. And if the MCU is able to pull Franklin off, it not only gives fans a new yet familiar taste, it moves up the power scale and it has huge implications going forward. Keeping this section short, there's tons of stories that could be told through the four. The Avengers, no, not those ones. Those. We don't talk about the other ones. For example, have told some of the most important stories from their history, with some exceptions being Civil War II, Dark Avengers, and Avengers vs. X-Men. But we all know that there's more Avenger movies on the way, and the story that is probably the greatest of them all, Secret Wars, has yet to be done. This is because Secret Wars cannot be done without the Fantastic Four. And in the way that Infinity Gauntlet is a Thanos story, both Secret Wars 1984 and Secret Wars 2015 are Doctor Doom stories. Secret Wars has been mentioned to be the dream of Joe and Anthony Russo, so maybe this movie is the first step into what could be, in my opinion, the greatest Marvel storyline ever. And that's it for the video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I'm always on the lookout for news and speculation, and I love thinking about what these movies could be. Let me know what you think in the comments. I know the Fantastic Four aren't as beloved in the moment, but I think in a few years, we'll be talking about them the same way we talk about the Avengers right now. Please share this video with everyone you know, like the video, and subscribe if you want to see more. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Farewell.